Welcome back to Everyday Race. So a few weeks ago, I've decided to get me another project car. So I went on Facebook Marketplace and this is what I found. It's a 2009 Toyota Prius with only 141,000 miles for $2,000. Well, if you're wondering why it's so cheap, let me show you. First, let's look at the pictures, and that's what I did. And the pictures, everything looked clean and decent tires. There was really nothing to complain. Obviously, there were a few scratches, some hail damage, and a couple of dents. But this is why the car was so cheap. Let's look at the description. So as you can see, the car's got a problem. It's got a red triangle of death is what the Prius people call it. It's basically a warning light. It won't let you drive the car unless you reset the code every single time you need to start the car or disconnect the battery for like 5 minutes. And it would cost a lot of money to fix. The dealership said that it would cost $5,000. So I quickly looked up the part, which is an inverter, and they were going for like $200-300 on eBay. So I could replace it. I figured I could replace it and have a good running car for $2,200. So I went and looked at the car. All right, so first thing I did after I got there is I checked the oil, make sure there was oil in the engine, and there was. And then I took the car for a drive. And the car drove okay. It was kind of slow and sluggish, but it's a Prius. I've never driven one, so I had nothing to compare it to. I paid attention to other things like odd noises, and there were none from what I could hear or feel. So, and everything checked out just fine. And then the seller provided me paperwork that he actually replaced a brake, ABS brake actuator in the car. Previous month, and he spent $3,888.27 on it. It's a very common problem and very expensive repair on a lot of Toyotas, like a 2000 and up 4Runners, Lexus GS 300, 400. It's just a common fault. So to me, it was a very good plus that the most expensive repair on that car was already done. So I paid the guy the money, signed the title, and drove the car home. So after I got the car home, I already knew the price for the inverter on eBay, which was $200-300. So I've decided to save me some money and hit a local salvage yard, where I was able to find a 05 Prius with a inverter that was already removed. They removed the inverter and tossed it right next to the car. So they did some damage. So I looked up the part number and I went on the internet to see if 05 Prius inverter would fit my 09 model. And Prius tech pages are pretty much non-existent. I was able to find one conversation where people said that 09 inverters fit all the cars, but 05 do not fit later models. Apparently there were 3 revisions to the inverter. In 05, they found a problem with one, so they improved it. And then in 07, apparently there was another problem, so they revised and started installing upgraded inverters. So I hid the inverter in the car next door so nobody would take it, and I went up front and asked the guy how much he wanted for it, and it was $35. So, and this was my reaction.
So I don't know. I might just gamble. And this is the part number. We'll see what happens.
Alright, so after I got home, I removed the inverter. It was a very easy job, and then I had to put them side by side and find out if they will work.
So this is the 09 and this is the 05. Got different mounts. Panasonic. Everything looks the same.
Alright, so next I've decided to remove the damaged pan from my new inverter, to inspect, make sure there was nothing damaged underneath, and to swap the pans all together to make sure the new inverter was sealed. And was I glad that I removed it, because this is what I found. As I start looking closer, I saw this. My new 05 inverter was burnt, had a burnt component. So I've learned two things. First is that was I glad that I removed it and that my new inverter was kind of fried. And two, I learned exactly why the inverters were upgraded in 2005, because obviously they were burning out and Toyota installed bigger component to replace the smaller component. I guess it couldn't handle the voltage or current. So I was kind of stuck there. Alright, so I was pretty bummed out, but then I started looking closer and I found out that the burnt board was actually bolted to the inverter, and there was a coolant right between them. So I've decided to unbolt the 05 burnt board, electrical board, and bolt the 09 inverter from my Prius to the 05 inverter, because at that point I really had nothing to lose, and I was hoping to put or build one good inverter out of the two. So I bolted everything together, put the sealed everything, and next it was time to install it on the car and see if I fixed the Prius.
Well, let's see what happens.
Okay, radio is on. Screen is on. It should start. She is. Now let's see if the problem is fixed or not. Usually I have to wait about a minute. There's the problem. Alright, nothing got fixed. The same thing happens as before. The triangle takes about a minute. So we didn't get nothing fixed. Alright, thank you guys for watching me trying to fix the Prius. I guess it's going to be part 2 of this video. So I'll see you then.